BR Tidwell 55 here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about finding how to find a Linux distro that you might want to try out. Now, for years, the main source that you had on the internet for information about Linux distributions was this site right here, DistroWatch.com. And there is certainly uh, DistroWatch.com is a very good resource, but it has its limits. Uh, for one, it does not list all of the Linux distributions, or uh, expand that a little bit, not just Linux distributions, but free open source operating system choices that are out there. Because you don't only have the various OSs based on the Linux kernel, but you also have OSs that are based on BSD. And you also have, and now that it's kind of out there in beta, finally, after many years, you have some distros that are starting to use the GNU herd for a kernel. Uh, DistroWatch doesn't capture all of these, and frankly, it may not be possible to capture everything that's out there because there is a lot of great work going on behind the scenes by guys and gals that really care, are really passionate about this sort of thing, and are doing some really great work, but they just don't get recognized. Part of the reason is that it is my understanding that DistroWatch does ask for a registration fee uh, for a listing, and that also, without that gives you preferential treatment or something. And then when a developer asks to be listed by DistroWatch, they get placed on a waiting list, and the project can be left on that waiting list for years. Well, given the nature of such things, if you uh, a, a software project could wither and die on the vine before they get listed by DistroWatch, which is really a shame, because that doesn't recognize all of the great work, all of the great deserving projects that are going on out there in the world uh, for that. So what the people over at the Cup of Linux community have done, which I am a member, we have decided that there is a better way to do things. And so Spatry and the folks over at the Cup of Linux community have created DistroHunt. Now, a couple of the things that will, this is the page with the mission statement right here. A couple of the things that will distinguish DistroHunt from DistroWatch is, one, there's no favoritism on DistroHunt. As long as someone who is authorized to speak for the project uh, fills out the registration form, it will get listed uh, without editorial comment or anything else from anyone over at over on that's involved with the DistroHunt project. You fill out the form, you'll get listed. Now, there will be a sort of premium service offered where, with the well, okay, this came up as a rent. Let me refresh the page to get a different random distro listing. Okay, here we go. So this is what you get with a standard, with this, with the standard, free as in cost listing. You get a screenshot, a description of what the project is, and basic information about the project. Okay, and you go over here to project listings. Hey, look, there's my remix. But you'll notice These are listed alphabetically. They are not listed by any sort of page hit ranking or some type of popularity ranking or anything like that. They are simply listed alphabetically, and in that way, it is it's a fair and honest way to list the distributions. You go over to DistroWatch, and actually, this function on DistroWatch I think gets abused a lot. Uh, they list their distros by page hit ranking, and that's not that sort of creates a feedback loop. So someone who is just coming in off the web and does a web search, lands on DistroWatch, they see this, they look Mint #1, and the automatic thought is, oh well, that must be the most popular Linux-based operating system. When the truth of the matter is, it may not be, because this is simply a page hit ranking. So and more people think you know, that's going to cause more people to click on that link, which is going to up their page hit ranking, which keeps them on top. So that's not really a true picture of whether or not an operating system is popular, or whether or not it works well, or whether or not it's the most widely used. Because if you watch my channel any amount of time, I'm a Mint guy. I love Mint. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite operating system, other than my own spin. And even I will say, even I don't believe that Mint is the most popular Linux-based operating system out there, the most widely used. I don't believe that. So, this gives you a false picture of reality. You will not get a false picture of reality over here. You will simply get uh, straight up information about different distros. And what I'm going to do, I've had some changes in my life. I've got a part-time job here recently, so I don't have as much time to mess around and post videos on YouTube as I used to. But every now and again, I will come over here to DistroHunt, and I'll try out one. I'll try out, and I'll do a full-blown Brian's review of an operating system. Oh, I kind of glossed over this. The plan with the premium listing, instead of just this standard write up that you get, which is actually provided by the developer himself. What you're going to get is, instead of that standard write up and screenshot, you'll get a 3-minute video produced by Spatry or myself or one of the other Cup of Linux community members. So, and that'll be for, I believe the fee on that will be is to be determined, but uh, it'll be very reasonable, and it will be and basically it just goes back into maintenance of the website. It goes back to the community. So that's the reason for the fee. So distrohunt.org, or www.distrohunt.org. I'll put the link in the description. And right now, there's only about 22 projects listed. Oh, almost forgot. This is probably the most important thing that distinguishes DistroHunt from DistroWatch. And that is the Dev Guild. The Dev Guild is for projects in the making. It's not complete. Maybe there's not even ISO released yet. May not even be an alpha yet. But it's a place where people can post their ideas of what they are working on. And a place for those people to maybe recruit other collaborators to their project. That's what you get this with DistroHunt. You don't get that with DistroWatch. And ultimately, I think this Dev Guild may be the most important contribution that DistroHunt makes to the community as a whole, because Once a project like say Orbos really gets going and gets and gets the talent on board to that will make it the operating system that the developer envisions it to become, and we get more and more projects like this, it'll just make it will just give us more choice, more freedom, and will improve uh, desktop Linux OSs across the board. So add it to your bookmarks. DistroHunt. Like I said, there's only 22. There's only 20 some odd listings right now. Every day that is growing. Every day we add more listings to this database, and uh, and we're adding stuff that you're not going to find on DistroWatch. So anyway, BR Tidwell 55 talking about DistroHunt. www.distrohunt.org. Add it to your bookmarks, and thanks for watching.